Hello and welcome to your Friday Good Morning KU. I'm Travis Calvin.
And I'm Brianna Johnson.
So Brianna, we had a nice walk to the Union this morning.
I actually will be honest, I drove to the Union because I walked outside and saw the weather and was like,
well, in that case, I'm the one that walked to the Union today.
Props to you.
It was only drizzling this morning when I first walked out, but once I was outside Allen Fieldhouse or so, the sky kind of opened up and it felt like I was just taking a shower outside, and that was not fun.
The thing that I'm kind of upset about is that wasn't on the forecast when I checked last night. It was supposed to be a nice day, and then
the weather app on my phone says that it's from like 8 o'clock last night to about 10 o'clock tonight. It's nothing but thunderstorms.
Oh, my word.
It's not supposed to break up at all.
Great. That's great.
So, yeah, that might cause you to be in tears, I think.
Yeah, so make sure you guys are bringing umbrellas to class. You got your rain jackets because, make sure you still go to class just because it's raining.
Something else that has brought a lot of people to tears, sometimes crying. The new
actually crying.
Yeah, the new Snapchat update has so many strange filters on it.
I'm not a fan. I'll admit I'm not
hilarious.
a fan.
I'll be completely honest with you. I think it's hilarious, everything involved in it.
And there is a crying filter, so you literally are brought to tears if you use that filter. So it's so weird. I don't know how it works, but like you tap the screen so that it can detect your face and your facial features, and then you can pick a filter to put on it, and it either like has you crying. There's one that turns you like into an old person. There was one that...
My favorite's the robot, just because of how random
Oh, yeah,
it is.
that one's kind of cool. That one's kind of cool.
Like, people spend way too much time on that. I feel like
Yes.
I feel like all the advances we can use in technology and all that to like cure diseases and all that, and suddenly we are transforming ourselves into like vampires.
That's what we do here in America, is we just turn ourselves into robots and vampires and stuff like that. And then there's the one where like the rainbow comes out of your mouth, and I just don't really understand that one, but... And then that was a perfect representation of that.
That's about right. That's all I saw.
I remember whatever day it was, Wednesday or Thursday, when it came out, Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever day that was. All of my Snapchat stories were just people doing these weird things, and I didn't understand what was going on, and I was like, I feel like I'm missing out. And so I sat there for a good like 20 minutes trying to figure out how to do it, and then I got it, and then now that's all I see. Yeah, now I'm sending it to all my friends, and I don't know, Snapchat's just getting really creative with their stuff, and some of it's fun, some of it's kind of freaky.
I like it all.
Another new thing that we've been noticing on campus, besides the rain and the Snapchat updates, kind of on more of a serious note though, it was Sexual Assault Awareness Week this past week. Did you notice all the red flags?
I did. I wasn't really sure what was going on at first, so that was something that kind of brought to my attention. I didn't. Do you know what the red flags represented?
Yeah. So it's just. I think basically it's just to kind of promote Sexual Assault Awareness Week. It's to get people curious about like why are there all these red flags around. And so there was a bunch of them in front of Fraser. There was a lot I noticed in front of Delta Chi fraternity on like West Campus Road, just kind of main points on campus that a lot of students visit and notice. And so I think Sexual Assault Awareness Week is, especially in the past couple years here at KU, is a big deal. And so I think we're just trying to get more people aware of that and what's going on, since all the stuff that had been happening.
It was a good campaign, because I know a lot of people, a lot of my friends were asking about it too, like what are the red flags for, what are they for? So I mean, it definitely brought a lot of attention to the subject.
Yeah, and I did notice there were a lot of, along with the flags, a lot of posters like in the ground with like statistics and info on those, and like quotes that are commonly associated with sexual assault cases and stuff like that. And so I just think it was they did a really good job of kind of campaigning that. And so I think it's an important issue with students here at KU too, for sure.
But another important issue that's coming up this next week is the Hazing Prevention Week.
Right.
like I'm not in Greek life or anything like that. I'm sure that's probably more along the lines for Greek life. So
yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, we actually have our guest on our next segment, Lance Watson, who is with Student Affairs, and he's going to kind of talk to us about what goes on during Hazing Prevention Week. But it's another important issue here at KU. I mean, hazing doesn't just happen in Greek life, but it's a kind of more people tend to associate it a lot with Greek life, and so since we have such a big prevalent Greek life here on campus, I think it's another big campaign kind of going on with KU, so that'll be a good thing to talk about. But for a couple fun notes before we sign off with you guys, SUA is having a couple fun events going on tonight and tomorrow. Tonight we have Canvas and Mocktails down in where J Bowl used to be, which is now the J. So you can go get some non-alcoholic cocktails and paint a canvas of your choice, however you choose to do that. That should be kind of fun. And then tomorrow they're having a cardboard boat regatta.
Regatta.
Yeah, I don't. It sounds kind of cool to me, but it's at Potter's Lake tomorrow at 1 p.m. Hopefully the weather kind of cooperates with that. Yeah, but maybe it's in the water anyways. They'll just go with it. I'm not sure. But
I don't know how cardboard does when it's soaking wet.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. In the lake, like I don't know how that's gonna go, but it sounds like fun. So there's a couple things for you guys to check out. But stay tuned, and we will be right back with Lance Watson. Swag. Welcome back. I'm here with Lance Watson from Student Affairs. He's the Director of Student Conduct and Community Standards to talk with us about Hazing Prevention Week. So thank you for taking time out of your Friday morning to come and talk with us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So can you, first of all, when is Hazing Prevention Week happening?
Sure. So it's all next week. We have a variety of different tabling events going on, as well as kind of doing a social media campaign and partnering with other governing councils here at KU to make sure we're spreading the word. Yeah.
Right. Okay, so can you kind of go through maybe what's going on each day?
Absolutely. So beyond the different social media outlets going on, we have tabling going on 3 days next week. On Monday at noon at Ambler, on Tuesday on Wesco Beach at 11:30, and then Thursday at 12:30. Monday at Ambler, we'll be handing out water bottles, having folks come and just kind of chat with us, and then Tuesday and Thursday we'll be handing out hot dogs for lunch to help folks out. Really just talking to folks about the how to prevent hazing on campus, how to engage and make sure they're keeping safe, all those kind of pieces.
Okay, can you kind of go through what the social media campaign is? How can students get involved with that?
Sure. Part of it is we'll have obviously a hashtag, and then we'll ask students to engage with both the Student Affairs account, and I know other councils will be tweeting different things, because we really want it to be part of a larger kind of campus safety month to make sure students are having a great experience as new members or just members joining organizations here at KU. It's very important to us that you have a really good, meaningful experience, obviously outside the classroom as well as inside the classroom.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I am involved in Greek life, and I know that a lot of, I guess, there's a big kind of stigma with Greek life where hazing happens a lot.
Sure.
And can you kind of touch on that and kind of touch on those stereotypes? And
Sure, absolutely. So the truth is hazing doesn't just happen in Greek life. It can happen truly in any organization or any kind of experience. And so we really want to be broad within talking about hazing at KU, where we don't want to just focus on our Greeks. We want to focus on every other organization here at KU, because we want new members that are joining organizations to know that they have the right to be respected, they have the ability to stand up against hazing within their organization, and also they have the right to report it to folks, whether it's to Silk, whether to an officer in the organization, whether it's to me. We just want to make sure they're having a good experience, because the truth is, if you're being hazed within your organization, it's really not as meaningful as it should be.
Right, for sure. And so kind of going along with that, maybe what are some, I guess, constant or popular things that you get dealing with hazing? Like what are some certain signs that a student might realize they're being hazed or?
Sure. You know, part of it is kind of a gut feeling almost, where if something doesn't feel like it's going right. So I joined this organization that said it was going to do these things, but none of the things we're doing actually are relating to those kind of foundational principles.
Right.
That's part of it. You know, more kind of, if you will, finite behaviors would be if you're being kept up late at night, or you're doing things that you wouldn't just normally expect to be doing as part of that organization. But truly it is just kind of something doesn't feel right, and that's when you start reaching out to the officers of that organization or the advisors to make sure you're getting support.
Okay, and that kind of leads into my next question. If a student feels like they are being hazed,
Sure.
what's the next step? What should they do?
Absolutely. So they have a variety of different avenues to kind of share information. The most immediate is to go to talk to the president. We put a lot of power on our presidents here, which is the great part about KU, to help them govern their organizations. If they're not comfortable going to the president or the main leadership of that organization, then reaching out to their advisors or the KU staff that might support that. So if it's club sports, working with recreation staff, whether it's in Greek life or a variety of other organizations working with Silk, and saying, hey, something's going on, I'm not really sure what to do with that. Also, students have the ability to file an anonymous hazing report. So they're like, I really don't want to be that person that reports that. They can go to preventhazing.ku.edu and share information anonymously if they so choose, and then we would try to follow up and make sure everybody's safe within that organization.
Right,
Yeah.
great. And so just to kind of wrap things up, what do you guys hope to accomplish with Hazing Prevention Week? What are some changes you'd like to see, or?
Sure. I think part of it is just further raising awareness. You know, that we're not saying that hazing is a problem at KU. Nationally, it's something everyone is talking about right now. And so we want students to be aware of not only having a really good experience when they join organizations, but also being comfortable that if something doesn't feel right, being willing to kind of raise their hand and say, hey, I need a little help. How can you support me, both from an organization and as a university? Because what's important to us as Jayhawks is that we have a safe, welcoming, and caring community.
Right, definitely. Well, thank you again so much for coming and talking with us. Look out for the tabling going on at the different locations throughout this week for Hazing Prevention Week. But stay tuned and we will be right back with our news segment.
Where you go to college makes a statement about you. This place will become a part of you, your identity for life. The University of Kansas, a great place to be you.
I'm Marissa. And I'm Alex, and this is your Friday Good Morning KU News Update. Ahmed Muhammad, a freshman at MacArthur School in Irving, Texas, will not be returning to public high school according to his father last night. Police arrested him on Monday after he brought a homemade clock to school. Authorities thought it looked like a bomb. School officials also suspended him for the week. A 15-year-old boy who was charged with murder at 8 years old was cleared by a judge to enroll in public school, outraging the prosecutor and the victim's family. After living in a treatment facility for 7 years, the boy will also be transitioned into a foster home. It is undecided where the boy will attend school after. Kansas City Attorney Bill Geary is working on removing a $15 per hour minimum wage proposal from the November ballot. According to Kansas City Star, a group of advocates had gathered enough signatures for a ballot initiative for the minimum wage to be raised by 2020. The city will seek a court order before Tuesday to remove petition initiative.
The Kansas City Chiefs lost 31-24 last night to the Denver Broncos. With less than 30 seconds in the game, Denver cornerback Bradley Roby recovered Jamal Charles' fumble for a touchdown. Peyton Manning became the second quarterback in NFL history with at least 70,000 passing yards. The Chiefs will play the Green Bay Packers next Sunday at Lambeau Field in Wisconsin.
And that's it for your Good Morning KU News Update. After the break, Travis will return for your sports update.
Where you go to college makes a statement about you. This place will become a part of you, your identity for life. The University of Kansas, a great place to be you.
Hello Hello, welcome back to Good Morning KU. I'm Travis Calvin here with some sports. The women's volleyball team has been debatedly the best Kansas team so far this fall, and their numbers have been backing it up. The Jayhawks are ranked number 17 in the nation due in part to their complete set dominance. They have won 27 of the possible 29 sets overall this season. The Jayhawks have also been taking full control of the court. They are the Big 12 leaders in aces per set, while senior Tiana Dockery and sophomore Kelsey Payne rank in the top 5 in the Big 12 in kills per set. However, sophomore Madison Rigdon was the one who stole the show for last weekend at Pistol Pete's shootout in Wyoming. Rigdon took home the tournament MVP while averaging 3.7 kills per set and 2.7 digs per set, including a 12-kill, 7-dig performance against Marquette. If you haven't seen KU play this season, today is as great a day as ever. They play in Lawrence at Horace Family Athletic Center at 12 versus South Dakota State, and again at 6:30 versus Gonzaga. The women's soccer team won in dramatic fashion Thursday night with an overtime victory against the Arkansas Razorbacks 2-1. Senior Ashley Williams put it into the back of the net off of a header in the 93rd minute. It was Williams' first goal of her senior season, and it gives the Jayhawks their second straight win, putting them at 4-4-1 on the year. Senior women's golfer Yupaporn Kowimpikorn is continuing to solidify herself as KU's best women's golfer after earning her 5th straight top 10 finish at the Minnesota Invitational on Tuesday. Kowimpikorn finished at +7 overall for the tournament, where her team finished 12th overall. In addition to her hot streak, KU's senior leader earned her 21st career top 10 as a Jayhawk. Kansas football team may be off to an 0-2 start this season, but they found a legitimate offensive weapon in junior transfer Keon Kinner. Kinner is the Big 12's leading rusher through the first 2 games of this season, compiling 270 yards and 3 touchdowns. Last Saturday alone, Kinner ran for over 113 yards as well as 1 score. The football team has a bye week this week, so they will have some time off to sort things out before they travel to New Jersey to take on a 1-1 Rutgers Scarlet Knights squad. I'm not going to analyze anything from the Chiefs and Broncos game last night because I still don't really know what happened in that game, so we're just going to skip it. So instead, I'm going to talk to you about how you've seen some of the best athletes that KU Sports has had to offer this week. So now it's the viewer's turn, you the viewer, to decide which of the athletes is the MVP of the week. Go to the link that I have listed below to cast your vote, and then tune in to the Jayhawk Sports Report on Monday at 5:30 to see who earns the accolade. That's going to wrap it up for the show today. Good Morning KU. We'll be right back here on Monday at 10 a.m. But until then, have a safe weekend and stay classy, Lawrence.